5 wide receivers the Raiders could sign in free agency. And before y'all yell at me, yes, none of these names are as big as Antonio Brown. I get that. But the way that I want this show to work is I want you to comment below on YouTube, on Facebook. Let me know which wide receivers you want the Raiders to go out and get. Sound good? Let's get this rolling. The first Antonio Brown replacement. He is the biggest name. There is not a name that is bigger that is a free agent wide receiver than Dez Bryant. Sure, he's dealing with an Achilles injury, but if he's back and he's 100% healthy, Dez Bryant at least has some pedigree where he is a veteran, he's older, and he might be able to work with Derek Carr. Now, he did visit the Oakland Raiders this offseason. We talked about it. We went live. But he was never close to signing with the Oakland Raiders. Now, let's take a quick sneak peek at what Dez Bryant has done the last 4 years. He did not play in 2018 due to that Achilles injury. In 2017, 69, that a boy Dez, 838 yards and 6 touchdowns. In 2016, 50 catches, 796 yards, 8 touchdowns. But here's the thing. When we think of Dez Bryant, we think of the Dez throwing up the X with Tony Romo. Now, maybe Dez and Dak were not compatible. But Dez Bryant is not this Dez. He is definitely a step down. But here's the thing. And with Dez Bryant, this is what our depth chart would look like. I still think Tyrell Williams would be the wide receiver 1 because he's been there off season and he's worked with the team. But then you have Dez as the wide receiver 2, which then I think gives the Raiders the ability to keep Hunter Renfrow and Ryan Grant in that slot. Okay? So you have this ability. Plus then, Darren Waller is going to be a big reason why they step up. Heck, between you and me, I'd actually be okay with Darren Waller just coming in and being that wide receiver 2 at 6'5", 256 pounds. So Dez Bryant is a big-time name. So let me ask you guys right now. The numbers on Facebook, on YouTube, we got over 1,500 people watching live. If you watch this on the replay, make sure you turn on those notifications so you know when I go live and you can join the conversation. Also, to everyone who just super chatted me, we will get to your super chats once the live Q&A opens. And to get your questions on the show, just use hashtag Raiders. So should the Raiders get Dez Bryant? I'm going to say right now, we're doing the tallies here at Chat Sports. It says that it's 73% no. So 73% of the people watching right now on YouTube are saying no. Let's go over and see what the people on Facebook are yelling at me about. We're adding up the tallies on Facebook. We're actually at about 46% of the people say yes, the Raiders should sign Dez Bryant. So for all you guys on Facebook, for all you guys watching right now on YouTube, who wants a shout out? If you want a shout out on the show, type me in the comments section below. Or the easiest way to get it is do this right now. Okay, I'm going to go on my phone right now. And if you download this app, chatsports.com/mytv, and if you send me a screenshot on Instagram, like I'm literally going on my Instagram right now. So for everyone who did that, Seagar02, Victoria Bumgardner, Scorpion58, I appreciate you. Let's go over now to Giselle 17. So those 4 people, they signed up for chatsports.com/mytv. All you got to do, it's a free app. And if you're asking, Mitch, why would I do it? Imagine watching Raiders vs. Broncos live on Monday Night Football. You plug this app in to your TV, and essentially what happens is it gets rid of commercials. Like, it gets rid of commercials and you watch sports content. You don't want to watch Geico. You don't want to watch that guy, random guy, Jake from State Farm. Get rid of them forever. Chatsports.com/mytv. And if getting rid of commercials isn't good enough, maybe me giving you a shout out on the Raiders Report is. So do it, chatsports.com/mytv. Let's get in now to this next wide receiver replacement. Pierre Garcon. They need a reliable wide receiver who knows the West Coast offense. Pierre Garcon is 33 years old, and yes, I don't think that he is anywhere close to being as good. Plus, he was a Niner, and I hate any time I have to put a Niners player on this show. But he could help mentor and grow Hunter Renfrow. He could help Ryan Grant. And yes, he's played in only 16 games the last 2 seasons, 8 in both the last 2 years. But Pierre Garcon is a no BS type of wide receiver, and between you and me, I kind of think that's what the Raiders need right now. So this is what this guy did in 2018. 24 catches, 286 yards, 1 touchdown, 11.9 yards per catch. Pierre Garcon is a good, reliable wide receiver. John Buxton, appreciate you for downloading my TV choice. Guys, I got my app open on IG. Go give me a follow at Mitchell Renz 365. So Pierre Garcon, 24 catches, 286 yards. But how does it look on the Oakland Raiders? You got Tyrell Williams. Here's the thing, guys. I'm trying to put these players on screen. We're also doing this on the fly. So if you get mad at me for putting a receiver as the wide receiver 2, cool. Tell me. Yell at me. I'm all good with it. But then tell me who should be where. All right? I'm just doing it so you guys can see what this would look like. You got Hunter Renfrow. You got Ryan Grant. You got Tyrell Williams. That's the wide receiver depth chart. Now, one of the reasons why I love doing what I do is simply because I love when you guys yell at me and you guys tell me that I'm wrong. But here's the thing. For all of you guys that don't think that I look, Manuel, you are so wrong. But I love the nation. And this is the way that I do it. If I don't pick at you, if I don't come at you, and that's the way my family works, heck, we're doing our 14th year of fantasy football this year, and we rip on each other more than anyone. So when I say that I rip on you, it's solely because I truly love you. And if I don't rip on you, then guess what? We ain't actually cool. So Manuel said the Raiders are keeping Keith Smith. Sorry, Mitch. Sorry, Manuel. You're wrong. Get a picture. Let's go to PS4G. Aitman, he ain't getting cut. Well, PS4G, maybe you need to update your settings on your PS4 and follow the Raiders report because guess what, homie? You wrong. But guess what? You weren't the only one who was wrong about Marcel Aitman. Fred Moe, get a picture. But here's the thing. Marcel Aitman got cut on the practice squad. He might now have to play a bigger role now that AB's gone. Let's go to Oaktown Down. Great job, Mitch. Appreciate you, Oaktown Down. That Doss has outplayed Hunter Renfrow in the slot position. Don't really agree with that, but Keelan Doss, you might see him on this show. Yee Lee, get a picture. Honestly, though, they should get rid of Carr and Glennon and just keep Peterman. Yee Lee, you're going to make me lose my mind even more than Antonio Brown. It's early. How drunk are you? Lorenzo Taylor. That's exactly what I got on the depth chart. You know what, Lorenzo? If you're going to the game, I'm sitting in section 105 against the Broncos. If anybody, especially Lorenzo, wants to get a picture, wants to hang out, let me know. I'll be sitting in section 105. Also, I'm going to be doing a party with the Black Hole. Come hang out with me. Hit me up on IG or Twitter. Give me a follow. Tell me that you watch the show. We'll get some beers. We'll have a good time. Now, for everyone who watches, and I know all those people do, and I appreciate you, and if you get mad at me for ripping on you, I'm sorry. You got to have thicker skin here. Definitely thicker skin than Antonio Brown. But if you're a part of the nation, and if you want to join the Raiders community, the link is below. YouTube.com/Raiders Report. So I asked people earlier to tweet me that link. And if you at me, at Mitchell Renz 365, I will 100% give you a shout out. So Frank Westerlude, I appreciate you. Stash, interesting name. G25U, I appreciate you guys. So all you got to do, take that link, youtube.com/Raiders Report. Tell all your Raiders friends to subscribe, okay? And then at me on Twitter, at Mitchell Renz 365. All right, next player, Terrance Williams. Landed on the IR with a foot injury in 2018. He was suspended 3 games for violating the substance abuse policy, but he did play 3 games with the Cowboys in 2018. I know, you probably hate me for putting a Cowboys receiver on this list. Here's the thing, though. The wide receivers that are free agents right now, it's not pretty. Not pretty whatsoever. Absolutely not. So this is what he's done the last 4 years. He's 29 years old, which I was actually kind of surprised about. But in 2015, 840 yards, 3 touchdowns. Terrance Williams busted onto the scene with that 8 touchdown year. He had 25 catches or something like that. But here's the way that I want this show to go. If you do not like my receivers, let me know on IG, let me know on Twitter. So here's the depth chart. The only thing that this does for me is I can just copy and paste T. Williams. Oh, that's easy, right? And now I don't think Terrance Williams is more talented than Hunter Renfrow, and I don't think Terrance Williams is more talented than Ryan Grant. But Terrance Williams, I think, is at least big enough to be that wide receiver too. And then again, we could keep Hunter Renfrow and Ryan Grant at their positions where they dominate a lot better. So again, here's the wide receiver depth chart with Terrance Williams. Tyrell Williams still stays as the number 1. Again, you're going to see a lot of depth charts. The important thing to remember here is that Darren Waller, I think, has a bigger factor than Terrance Williams. He's going to have a bigger factor than Pierre Garcon. So the wide receiver depth chart with Terrance Williams as the wide receiver 2. So for those of you that have been like, hey, Mitch, how do I get in contact with you this week in Oakland? Here's what you got to do. Are you ready? You got to go to thebblackhole.com/kickoff. I'm going to be hosting a party with the Black Hole. And if you want to meet some Victoria's Secret models, you're going to meet some ex-Raiders players, it's going to be the baddest, biggest, baddest party y'all have ever been to. Over 1,000 people in attendance at the Radisson Hotel. TheBlackHole.com/kickoff. Use my promo code. Use my promo code Mitch and save 25% off. So go to TheBlackHole.com/kickoff right now and get your guys some tickets. They are selling fast. Do not miss your chance because I want to link up. So here's the other way you can link up with me. I'm going to be sitting in Section 105. Section 105, Raiders versus the Broncos on Monday Night Football. I was hoping I'd be able to watch Antonio Brown. That doesn't look very likely at this point. So the Raiders versus Broncos, who's going to win this game? If you think the Raiders are going to win this game, type R. If you think the Broncos are going to win this game, take your computer, throw it out the window. Let me know where you guys are sitting, and if you want to link up, give me a follow on Instagram because that'll be where I'll be checking because Twitter at this point is just an absolute shit show. So DM me on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365 if you want to link up, get some beers, have a good time. Let's go to the next wide receiver. It's Kelvin Benjamin. Or is that Whoopi Goldberg? I'm not sure. He's a big receiver that could be a red zone threat. That is the only reason why I would want him on the team. I do not think Kelvin Benjamin is that talented of a wide receiver, but here's the thing. He's built like a tight end, and Carr likes tight ends. He played with the Bills and the Chiefs last offseason, and it was not a good year whatsoever for Kelvin Benjamin. I mean, look at these numbers. 67 targets. 25 catches on 67 targets. What? 380 yards and a touchdown. Now, I understand that these are my top 5 wide receivers, but guys, it's not pretty out there. Maybe you can help me find some better ones. So Tyrell Williams, Kelvin Benjamin. Again, let me say this very, very clearly. I am doing this from a graphical standpoint. I do not think Kelvin Benjamin is better than Hunter Renfrow, and I do not think Kelvin Benjamin is better than Ryan Grant. However, I do think that he would be the wide receiver 2 over J.J. Nelson, simply because J.J. Nelson is just a field stretcher. And then you got Dwayne Harris. I would use, personally, Darren Waller as the wide receiver 2 before Kelvin Benjamin. Because I will also say this. If we have to rely on Kelvin Benjamin, we are in big trouble. Probably even bigger than Kelvin Benjamin. So for everyone who's watching the show right now, today's show is brought to you by My TV Choice. For those of you that don't know what My TV Choice is, it's an app that you can download to your phone, and it gets rid of commercials. So you're watching Raiders, you're watching the Broncos on Monday Night Football. It goes to a TV timeout, goes to a commercial. The My TV Choice app takes over your television and basically gives you field or sports content from Chat Sports. So if you would rather watch us doing our thing here at Chat Sports and not commercials, go download it right now. Chatsports.com/mytv. And for those of you that have done this, R. Timothy Ramirez, I appreciate you. Steve, that guy, and Nevada John, appreciate you. So I told everyone, if you download this app, chatsports.com/mytv, I will give you a shout out on Instagram. The last person to do it is John Butson. Appreciate you all. Chatsports.com/mytv. All right, last player that the Raiders could go out and replace Antonio Brown with, it's Keelan Doss. So Keelan Doss was my dude. Cut by the Raiders after a great preseason, but he signed with the Jaguars practice squad. He already knows the offense. And for those of you that know Keelan Doss, it's because he had a great preseason. 17 catches, led the team. 26 targets, led the team. 162 yards, led the team. 1 touchdown, yards after the catch, also led the team. My thing, though, with Keelan Doss is we already know what the depth chart would kind of look like with Doss. He's not going to be the wide receiver 2 over Grant and Renfrow, but he still could potentially play in the slot and be an extra wide receiver. Now, the way the Raiders would have to do this is because he is on the practice squad, the Raiders still are allowed to go out and sign him. So the Raiders still could go out and get Keelan Doss because he is, however, like I said, on that practice squad. So Keelan Doss was the last player I mentioned. So here are 5 notable free agent wide receivers the Raiders could go out and sign to replace Antonio Brown. Yes, none of these names are even close to Antonio Brown. However, these are the 5 biggest and most notable names on the free agent list. So you got Dez Bryant, you got Pierre Garcon, you got Terrance Williams, Kelvin Benjamin, Keelan Doss. If you do not like any of those wide receivers, let me know in the comments section, or you can hit me up on IG or on Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.